Hey there everyone, welcome to Riff On This, candid conversations behind the music in Florida. And if you know anything about Florida, you know this is a big state and we have a ton of talent. But we're here for all of the amazing stories and juicy details behind the rhythms flowing through all the genres in the Sunshine State. I'm your host Samara Kokinas, taking a break from the weather to catch a musical vibe with you. In the studio today, I am so excited to have an NBA DJ, We the Best DJ, and Fly 103.1's DJ, but I like to call him my personal friend, DJ JR. Welcome to the set.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here, honestly.
Honestly, you know, it's been something that we've been talking about, getting you on the show, and you're like, yeah, let's do it. So finally made it happen.
Finally, we made it happen.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
So. You know, a lot of people may see you downtown, they may hear you on the radio.
Yes.
You do so much, but...
I love to work.
You think?
Maybe it's a thing that where my energy is up there and I just want to always work. I love to work.
I know, right? So do I. I mean, you know me. We're
Working.
Yes. We're always working. Everybody's like, where are you going?
Work.
Gotta go to work. Yeah, gotta
part.
make money and have fun. So.
Right.
But you know, a lot of people don't know what got you to this point. You know, social media is so in the now. So it looks like people kind of blow up overnight. But this has been a work in progress through the years for you, right?
Years of hard work. So basically where I started was I went to school for music. Mm-hmm. And I was always inspired, always drawn to it. But as soon as I moved to Orlando about like 12, 13 years ago, I said, let me try to dabble into like music and sharing it with everyone, like DJing. Mm-hmm. So I tried it and I fell in love. And then I got inspired by a couple of bigger DJs like Nasty, mm-hmm. like Chino, mm-hmm. and they taught me under their wing and they gave me the ropes and it's been history ever since.
That's wonderful. So you originally are from Brooklyn?
I am. I was born in Brooklyn and then I moved to Miami, now Orlando.
Wow. So, okay, so when you say you moved from Brooklyn to Miami to Orlando, when you moved originally to Florida to Miami, what was your initial thought of the Sunshine State?
The weather. Loved it, because in Brooklyn it's cold. In New York, anywhere up north, it's cold. And basically my mother, she had asthma and she couldn't take the cold, so that's why we moved down here. And of course she dragged me with her.
Aren't you thankful for your mother right now?
I am. Yeah. I love her. Thank you. Love you, Mom.
So then moving from Miami to Orlando, mm-hmm. you said that was you moved to Orlando 12 years ago? Yeah,
just about. So once I left Florida Atlantic University, FAU, I came up here and that's when I really started taking it seriously. I said, I'm gonna either do this or not do it. And I chose the right decision.
So where did you start out when you came to Orlando? What were you doing? I
was doing UCF events, sorority events, fraternity events, house parties, and that kind of thing. And then I used to lug the big equipment, the big speakers to the house parties. Like the speakers weigh more than I do, and everybody used to laugh at me. Funny story, so before, you know how every DJ has like laptops or whatever, I used to bring my PC, the tower, mm-hmm. with my monitor. And so I looked like I was doing like a homework assignment. That's how I really started. Yes.
Geeking out with the music. Though.
Right.
Yeah, I love that. That's funny. What brought you to speed and how did you come into meeting Chino and Nasty and kind of getting into more music?
I listened to them on the radio and I said, oh my goodness, how did they do that? Especially in particular, like for example, like Chino. Mm-hmm. His nickname is the Turntable Dragon.
Right, he's a legend.
He's a legend, an absolute legend. And I used to watch him and I used to like, how do you do that? And once I found out where he was gonna be, I said, let me go there and let me see what he's doing. And I saw it and I just approached him. I said, hey, how are you doing that? And how can I be like you? Mm-hmm. And ever since then, he took me under his wing.
So what was it like really sitting down and studying technique?
Okay, so a lot of people think when they see a DJ, all they see is the headphones and the this motion. Mm-hmm. There's so much more to it. What really got me into it is, like I play drums. So I had to like change my muscle memory into like going into like a circular motion as opposed to just hitting something. Yeah. That's what really got me into it. And I used to spend hours just going back and forth on a record, just to like see how I can make the sound different, how I can make people's words match like people's beats and whatnot. That's what really got me into it, like drums. I want to say drums, yeah.
Wow, that's really interesting because you don't think about it a lot. Like you said, you see the headphones and you see people and you may see them, getting your next song in line or whatever, but you don't think about how detailed those mixing boards are. I mean, you look at them and you're like, wow, that's a lot of color and
a lot of buttons and stuff. And we have a joke in the DJ industry where it's like all you see is elbows moving like this, turning the knobs. Yeah, that's really what we look like. And I was like, you know what? Maybe we do look like that. Yeah. A little bit.
So you started first with
Chino, and then I met Nasty. I want to say the first time I met him was at this old club, Roxy.
Oh my goodness, I was just talking about Roxy the other day.
Roxy, and funny story, like if you look on his phone, he still has me saved under JR Roxy opener. Cause I love you, Nasty, I'm sorry, but I have to, it says JR Roxy opening DJ. I was like, aren't you gonna change that now?
No. Those are your roots here. That's where those are your roots. So you're forever that guy. But you've come a long way in your career. I mean, I see you doing some amazing things. There's not a time where I don't see your feet. And I mean, one week I'm looking, you're in DR. The next thing I know, you're in Paris. You're at a celebrity wedding.
Yes.
Like for somebody with the NBA, I believe.
Right. So I did Tobias Harris's wedding. Thank you for him. He's amazing. He used to play for the Magic. Now he plays for Philadelphia. And he called me, or he sent me a DM on Instagram and asked me to do it. And I was so honored. And we met, we did the talking. He told me what he wanted. I said, yes, I can do this. Let's do it.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, first of all. Was that your first celebrity wedding that you got to DJ?
No.
Okay, so you didn't have like the initial, who else's wedding?
So I did Tracy McGrady's sister's wedding, not him, but he was there. Walked his sister down the aisle. We went to Utah to do that wedding, and I want to say that one probably got me the most nervous. That one.
So what was that feeling?
So
like no pressure, right?
Let me give you the setting. So we're in the middle of Utah in the desert.
Oh, I bet the backdrop was stunning.
It was stunning. Also very cold. I was not ready for that. I have another story about cold temperature, but anyway, yeah. Went to the desert. He walked his sister down the aisle, and then he brought a surprise guest like Kenny Lattimore to sing for his sister. That one made me the most nervous. Yes.
You were running the music.
My hands were shaking.
It's okay, because the first time I was ever on television doing weather, my knees shook really bad. I mean, You could like see me trembling. I mean, and there was nobody in front of me other than the crew,
So let me ask you this really quick. How do you get over your nerves?
Wait a minute, the interview is about you. But, I think it comes with time and your confidence level, it really plays a lot. That and your floor crew makes the difference too. The people you surround yourself with or that you're surrounded with at work, how they make that environment feel. Right. So I had a lot of positive feedback, and I'm sure you have experienced the same thing, right?
Yes. So basically, like a lot of people, it's kind of like the American Idol syndrome. People are like, oh, you can sing. And then you get on there, you think you're going to kill it, and you bomb. Yeah. I have kind of the opposite. They kind of give me compliments, which I'm thankful for, but they still like uplift me. I take all criticism, all that stuff. Yeah.
Constructive criticism is a must to grow. I mean, if you don't fail, you haven't done anything yet.
That's right. That means you're not trying hard enough.
Right. You're not pushing those boundaries and really, seeing what you're capable of, because sometimes you don't know what you're capable of. I'm sure like 14, 15 years ago, you were probably, did you see yourself playing?
No.
For the people that you've played for, the events that you've done?
So, for an example, I want to say I didn't see myself playing for the amount of people. Like, for example, the biggest crowd that I've had was I opened up for Demi Lovato and Nick Jonas at the Amway Center, so it was like 16,000 people there, and I'm on stage by myself. Talk about you shaking. My whole body was like, oh my God, I can't do this. And then on top of that, there was like some technical difficulties with the equipment, and I had to figure it out on the fly.
Oh no.
Right, because you know how it is. They give you a countdown, they say 3, 2, 1, JR, let's go, and you gotta go. You running up and people are like, ah. Meanwhile, you press play and nothing's happening. And so I'm talking, I was about to start singing a song. just to like, you know.
Happy birthday. I love it.
Right.
You know, there's been plenty of times where our equipment sometimes will go on the fritz and I have to say, you know, it's frozen up. I'm just going to walk over here, explain what I'm doing to people, you know.
See,
but that's a little different.
True professional.
No, but that's different though. You're providing music to people that are there to hear music.
Oh, and it's the funniest thing when you get the chance, like your music is not working for whatever reason, and they're like, no music. No music, and meanwhile, I start singing with them.
You're like, yeah, no music.
Right.
Wow. Well, at least they keep their spirits up, and then when the music comes back on, I'm sure.
That's the best part, because once the music comes on, that's half the problem's done.
Yeah, and the crowd goes wild.
They love it.
That's funny. So tell me about, you know, since we're talking about traveling, and you went to Utah, you did the wedding. Mm-hmm. You went to Paris.
I did. So shout out to my best friend, DJ Ego, the heavy hitter. He's also a part of like We the Best and whatnot. So he lives in Europe. So every time I get a chance to go out there, I go see him, and he takes me on tours everywhere. He's brought me to Germany, most recently Italy for my birthday, and I got to perform at Just Cavalli with CJ.
Wow.
And he brings me there. The only thing that trips me out is like, he's like, okay, JR, you have to drive. You have to do everything that you want to do. So meanwhile, I want a tour guide in Paris and Italy and all that. He's like, no, whatever you want to do, you have to go do it. So for example, he made me drive all the way to Czech Republic from Germany. Meanwhile, it's like, I don't know these roads. You're on the side of a mountain on an Autobahn or whatever they call it. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, can you show me what to do? He's like, no, you're doing this. But I love him for that, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best part, I think, about when you go abroad. If you know somebody that's there, you don't get that tourist experience. You get the resident experience.
Right.
And there's nothing like that.
To your point, you're right. Like, he made it so where I felt like I was at home, but still not touristy. You know, like, he showed me everything I needed to know, and he's like, okay, go get it. On the flip side, there's times where I've gone to, like, for example, I went to Moscow with Fat Joe. I went on tour with him. Shout out to Fat Joe. And I had no tour guide, and I still had to make it work. Meanwhile, it was 5 degrees out there.
5 degrees.
We went in November.
You're like, listen, about the cold weather.
Right. Crazy.
How many coats do you own now? I mean, you came from Brooklyn, so I'm assuming you at least had one. What is it? What's the brand besides the puff coat? That's
the North, like you got like
North Face.
North Face, yeah, something like that.
Or then and you have your bean shoes.
Let me
and
tell you the
whatnot.
secret.
Your Timberlands.
The secret is to buy the coats and the jackets during the summer.
Yeah.
When the prices are low, and then once you're ready, once winter comes, you're like, all right, now I'm fly. I can do this.
Absolutely. Okay, so. Let's see, you've done so much, Jay. Get it, Jay.
Get it, Jay.
For those that don't know, that's actually one of the little sounds that he plays when he's DJing.
Right. I like that sound because it kind of like gets people's attention. Like, what is this saying? My other sound is I kind of flipped Beyonce's sound to what she said to Jay-Z. She's like, Jay, let's go get him. And I actually use that for me.
Oh, okay, there you go. That's creative though, and you have to find a way to stand out.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Everybody wants to be a DJ, right?
Oh, because it's so easy to do it now. You know, like anybody can like turn on their Pandora or Spotify, or if you have a phone, you can literally DJ. But it's the showmanship is what sets you apart.
I was about to say, I'm kind of stuck up because I've been blessed and I feel super grateful to have so many friends that are amazing DJs that now when I go somewhere and I hear somebody attempting to DJ and and I say attempt because they're getting paid, okay, I assume, and they can't cut right, they can't mix, and they're going, I mean, I had listened to this one, I will not put his name out. No names. It's after the show, I'll tell you. No, I'm kidding. But I was sitting there with a friend of mine, and I promise you, this DJ took me through 7 eras and 5 genres in 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Do you know
Your ankles must have been.
No, I was just sitting there because I was like, wait a minute, why did we just go from Prince to like Journey to, wait a minute, is he playing country now? Wait a minute, and now he's back to rock, and now he's going, oh my goodness, he's not doing Lean Back, right? Did he just do Lean Back out of like?
So let me tell you,
know?
she's being humble and modest. A few of us DJs, we're very nervous when, especially in playing for you, because you know so many great DJs, so we have to be on our A game when
No,
you're
he
there.
didn't know me. I was just there hanging out, you know, and it was just, I was like, wow, okay. It was a lot. It overwhelms.
It's like overwhelming?
Yes, it is. So, and I don't believe, you know, like you mix genres so well. You are amazing, seriously,
Thank you.
seriously. Because I've heard you go from Afro beats into, you know, a little bit of soca, and from soca into salsa, into bachata, and then into reggaeton, and from reggaeton to rap, and then you're next. I'm like, yes. It's like every time you know, as people, we get to that point where we're like, okay, you can change it up. And as soon as I'm thinking I could stand a different genre.
Right.
You're already on it.
Already on it. So we have to think like 3-4 songs ahead. And then like, for example, what if somebody throws you a curveball? Like say you ask me for a request, which I'm open to, guys. A lot of DJs don't do requests. I'm very open to it.
Just don't put it on your cell phone on your forehead. Come on, don't do that. That is too much. When I see people doing that, I'm like,
and you've seen that happen out.
I have. It's happened to you, and I was like, are you
know what?
serious?
First of all, I appreciate them being so bold. I like when they do it and it's like flashing. It's like, play this. Yeah, I've seen that. I can't help but laugh.
Oh man.
I love it.
So they'll throw you a curveball, like you're sitting there playing Jay-Z, and then all of a sudden they want Maroon 5.
So here's what you do. Quick tip. You look at them and you say, you affirm them that you have it. A lot of DJs are like, yeah, I got you. They don't got you. You look at them, you affirm that you have, like, for example, like you said, Maroon 5 after Jay-Z. Then you look at the crowd's reaction. Have that request and have another song ready after that. And if they don't like it, you switch it. But if they do like it, you kind of like look around and keep going. So my biggest thing is like a lot of DJs are so stuck on their whatever they're doing, and you know, with elbows, like I told you.
I'm busy.
Right, I'm busy. I'm working. What I do is like I'll play a song, take a step back, look around. That's why I have these big glasses. Look around.
Stop.
But yeah, look around, see how people enjoy it. Because I'm a firm believer. My old high school band teacher used to say, you can't learn how to play until you learn how to listen.
Facts.
So I'm a big fan of like whatever I'm doing. Let me step out and enjoy it with you guys, you know? Because you can't provide a service without knowing what the quality of the content is.
Plus, it gives you an opportunity to take a sip of your water that you're always water, wink, wink,
right.
for those just listening.
That's right. You're right.
So, you know, moments like you said with when people have their requests flashing on their forehead, what is one moment in your career that stands out to you the most? I mean, just one thing that you are never going to forget the rest of your life.
Can I give you 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, just one.
Just one.
No, 3 is fantastic. 'Cause I mean, that's 3 different stories we have to hear here.
Right. So let's start with the first one really quick. Like I mentioned, I opened up for Demi Lovato and Nick Jonas when they were on tour here in Orlando. That stood out to me because, again, I've never been in front of so many people at one time, 16,000 people, and they're all looking at you. I was like, I hope my hair's all right and whatnot. They're all looking at you. That was one that stuck out to me. And also, they put me on Wikipedia for that. I really appreciated that. That was so nice of them. I know, I love that.
Nice.
Number 2 is DJing for the NBA for the bubble.
Oh, yeah. I
when they
forgot you did that.
Yes.
I remember that. I remember seeing those videos during the pandemic.
Right.
Oh, wow.
I DJ'd for the NBA for the bubble when they came to Orlando because of, you know, the pandemic.
Right.
And I was, even though it wasn't as many people as the tour, I was equally as nervous because, like, oh my goodness, I'm in the bubble.
Right.
With the NBA. Like,
plus, how many people are streaming this?
Oh my goodness.
Across the world right now.
And I'm all over Twitter. People are like, oh, okay, yeah, I see you. And I was like, oh, I love this. Thank you. So that was number 2. Number 3 would be going on tour with Fat Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yesterday's price
is not today's price. And I learned so much from him. You know, shout out to Nasty. He hooked me up with that. And I learned so much from him about what we talked about earlier, showmanship. Because anybody can play music, but you have to be a performer. The way he commands a crowd, the way he naturally gravitates your attention to him, unmatched. And he used to tell me, like, you know, same thing. He's like, listen, he calls me Junior. He's like, listen, Junior, once you play the record, you got to step back and enjoy yourself. And he was right. And I took that with me. That stood out with me from then until now. And I couldn't be more thankful, except for going to Moscow. That was cold, very cold.
Yeah. I mean, those are really strong words too when you think about it, because he's telling you to not only just, you know, see what's going on around you, but he's also saying, you know, enjoy this moment. Right. Because if you don't enjoy what you do, you're not going to look forward to it or even press for bigger things. Right.
So in social media nowadays, we're so used to like bringing the phone out and like, you know, we go on our trips or our vacations and like, let me do this. But like, it's a good idea just to put the phone down. Like, breathe in the air, enjoy yourself. Take your selfie though. Once you take the selfie.
But first, take a selfie.
Right.
And be like, now I'm gonna eat my food in peace without showing it to the world.
Right.
Maybe.
You're right.
Depends on how good the plate looks.
I was about to say that. Depends on how good the food is, and you got to take a picture. Oh, this is nice. Yes.
Right.
I love it.
So you said it was Nasty who put you in touch with We the Best.
Right.
How has it been?
So again, shout out to my bro DJ Ego. He went on tour with Khaled and Beyonce for that tour, and Nasty obviously hooked us up with that. So Khaled is such a good guy. Like, a lot of people see the social media, but he's genuinely such a good person, and his energy is unmatched. Like,
no kidding.
Yes, his energy is. He makes you want to get up and do something. It's like, God did.
Yeah, right. That's so funny.
God did.
But if he didn't have that energy, he would not have memes or GIFs or be, have that, I mean, we all hear, when you hear DJ Khaled, you hear it.
Oh my
you feel
goodness.
it. You're like, okay, another one.
Another one.
Come on.
Another one.
Who says that? Like he did.
His voice is so commanding. Like, it should be like an alarm to like wake people up. You will never snooze if you hear like, get up. Another one. God did. I was like, I'm ready. I am ready to go. I'm ready to get my day started.
Right? Let's go.
Love Khaled.
That's funny. So, what do you anticipate for the future? I mean, I know a lot of people are like, living in the moment. Some people have plans, some people don't. But what are some of the things that you would like to see yourself accomplish? I mean, you've done so much.
You know what? When I first started, one of my biggest things was to be on the radio, which I am on now every day. Fly 103.1, 8 o'clock.
Right.
Nights with Nails.
You love it?
Oh, I love it. That's my dream, because like, you don't realize who's listening to you. Like, even with what you do, you don't realize who's seeing you. Like, you inspire people. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thankful to have that opportunity to do that every day for almost 2 hours. A lot of mixing, but I do it.
Yeah.
And I love to inspire people. I love to share. I love to, like you said, play a record and people haven't heard it in a while. Or it makes their kids dance in the back seat of their car. Or it makes your grandma want to like get up and just do a little two-step that she used to do. That's what really motivates me. So I would like to continue with radio. And you know what? I think I want to start making like music for myself. Like, you think you could sing on a track for me?
Me?
Yeah.
When did you hear me sing, sir? I mean, I might be able to. We'll see. We'll talk.
She can sing.
But
she can sing. But
all right.
I do.
Secrets are out.
Right.
Secrets
we're
are
doing
out
it.
in
We're
this
doing
episode.
it.
Man, here we go.
But I do want to do that. I want to start producing more music. Take the role of like somebody that can share music like differently, not just DJing, which is great. I will never ever stop DJing, but I also want to share music and like make it original.
Right.
And have, I don't know, maybe like you'll get on the track. I'll do the hot 16. You do the chorus, and you never know.
Never know. You never know. Could be a banger.
Could be. Another one.
So you talked about some motivations, but I know one of your biggest motivations is your son, Jace.
Yes, so I do have my son, Jace. I love his name because it's just like JR, you know, and he motivates me because, like with any parent, like you want to do good by your children. But he says something. He's like, I don't know what these new words are. He's like, Dad, you dance so cringe. And because, you know, I'm dancing back there when I'm doing my thing. He's like, you're so cringe, Dad. I was like, what? I can dance. I know I can dance. I got a little two-step. And he's like, no, you're cringe or you're sus. I was like, I have to pull out my dictionary, like on my phone. Like, what does this mean?
Oh, wow. You're not even, okay, first of all, I just want to say the fact that you're having to look these terms up makes my heart feel so much better just because.
These words that they make up we have to look them up.
I know what they mean, but.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm young.
Oh, that's right.
Not really. No.
That's you.
No, but no, I get it. You know, everything's changing so quickly, and then you know what I love to see is when kids think that they're doing something for the first time, but it's actually a spin-off of something that we did as kids that our parents probably did too, right. And we're like, honey.
Right.
You're not the OG.
we does this. They don't know. They think they know, but we do it. For example, like he would sit there, he'll get on my computer and start like trying to DJ on the turntables and whatnot. And I'm like, okay, this is not bad. He's like, I'm the best. I'm a legend at this. Like, you don't know how to do this, Dad. I'm like.
And he is 6?
He is 6.
Wow, you're raising a very strong-willed young man, which is wonderful.
You know, on the counterpart of that, he would sit there and play on the computer and all that stuff. And then when I go out to work, all my songs are messed up. I'm like, who did this? Who did this? And I couldn't figure it out. I was like, Jace did it. Mm-hmm. Put it in together.
He didn't mess it up. He basically just said, Dad, I want you to try this. Try this order.
He's a legend.
He's a legend at what he does.
According to him.
60-year legend right there.
Right. But I love him, man. Shout out to Jace.
Yeah, he's so cute. He's so cute. And I see, you know, you're always posting on your social media with him, and the fatherly figure that you are to him is amazing.
Right.
So.
He teaches me a lot of things that I didn't think I was possible, like knowing how to do. For example, dancing.
But you started out cringe, and now you're like.
He would teach me how to do like the little, the little moves and whatnot. But I think I have it down.
What does he say?
What?
That's going to be another episode.
Episode.
It's going to be Jace Says.
Right.
And we'll have
That's a segment. We could start that.
Jace Says.
Jace Says.
Legend.
Legend.
Another one.
Love it.
So, you know, yeah, we do learn from our kids.
Right.
We really do.
Right.
What would you say? I always ask this question at the end because I feel like it's something for people to strive for, because not everybody sees the degree of difficulty that this industry brings. They see the immediate spotlight that social media they'll show somebody just blowing up and going viral overnight,
right.
And then next week, gone. You know,
so,
staying relevant.
I was just about to say that. Oh, you took the word.
Let's stay relevant. I need to stay relevant.
She is so smart. But no, you're right. Staying relevant is what's the hardest part, because everybody has, like you said, the 15 minutes of fame. And, you know, you can only do so much. It's how you build your network. It's, you know, it's not what you know, it's who you know, essentially, you know. And I learned that over time. Like, you can be the master of anything. Like, you can be the best DJ, like, figure, do whatever.
You need to make that into a figure.
Yeah, you can do that, but it's not until, like, you realize, for example, I could make, with the radio station, I could make all of these mixes every day. But unless you have that network of people that give you that platform, such as this, thank you.
You're welcome.
Right? You know, who's going to hear it? Mm-hmm. You need to be able to share things. And so that's what I've learned. Like, knowing the good people, building the great relationships with them is how you stay relevant. Because I've seen a lot of DJs come and go. We've all seen them.
Yeah.
No names. No names. And but you know, they could be so talented, but you know, you have to build that relationship with people that are in your industry, or even like not in your industry, just to stay relevant. That's the hardest part. That is the most difficult.
Well, I think, you know, Mario and Marcus, the twins,
right.
Sock Gallery, big shout out to them.
Yes.
Good friends of ours, but they said it really clear one day. It was at their birthday party, the Pink Party, a Pink Affair.
Great.
It was an amazing party. But he said, you know, they said it very clearly, like, our grandmother said, there are no strangers. We don't know strangers. We get to know people.
I like that.
So that's their mentality, is going out there and just being, hey, we're not going to be strangers. And they are, you've seen them in action.
Oh, yeah.
They are just out there and just meeting people. They don't care who you are. You could be the president of the United States, and they'll just be like, hey, I'm gonna make socks with your face on it, and you're gonna love it.
And people end up loving it.
They do,
Right.
They do. And they're such friendly and genuine people, and I think that is you too, and it's our company that we keep.
Right. I'm a big fan of good energy, good people, like such as yourself and like, the twins as well. Like, they just naturally radiate great energy. And so like, you can't help but to sit there and be like, what do you do? And just wonder what they do.
Right.
And clearly they are great at what they're doing, so you're gonna continue to buy from them, to network with them, to be on their team. So that's why I love that. I need good energy.
Everybody does.
Yes.
Everybody does.
Yes.
Positive vibes only.
Only. Another one. Right.
Well, I had a blast.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you finally came through. It's been wonderful hearing your story. I'm sure you have thousands of other stories.
I do.
But
Part 2 is coming soon.
Part 2 will come. Hey, I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna
Deal.
be like, I'm gonna be like, Jay, listen.
Deal.
I need you here.
I'll be there.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you. I'm so glad and grateful to call you a friend.
Thank you for having me. I'm so thankful. Riff On This. It's an honor. It's a long time coming, but we made it happen.
Absolutely, and
Yeah.
we'll keep going. We're gonna
Yep.
keep going. In fact, I'll have another episode of Riff On This coming to you soon, so stay locked in tight. Thanks for listening to Riff On This. A huge thank you to our special guest, DJ JR. Be sure to follow him on Instagram and all social media platforms by searching DJ JR Music. And don't forget, you can link me on my social media. Just search Samara Kokinas News 6 on Facebook and Twitter. On Instagram, search Samara Kokinas. Before we go, a huge thank you to our behind-the-scenes production team, Derek Mosier, Ryan Haley, Chris Flora, Rich Burns, and Joe Grennan. Please take some time to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And don't forget, sharing is caring, so tell a friend about us too. You can find videos of all the podcast episodes on clickorlando.com/riffonthis. Until next time, friends.